Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another episode of the Quack Report. My name's Carter. I'm joined by Nate. How are you doing today, bud?
I am full right now. I got on about 2 minutes before we started this stream, mowed down some chicken wings.
Hell yeah.
And just vibing right now. Wishing I was still eating some more chicken wings though. That's been a craving that I have had, I kid you not, for probably about a year or so now. That
Damn,
I have
what's been holding you back?
Oh no, I've been having chicken wings in that time. I just can't satisfy that craving.
That's fair. Okay.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get that. What flavor did you have tonight?
I did half barbecue and half salt and pepper. Just
Nice.
Simple, but
really solid choices. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a wet and a dry.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way to go too. Yeah.
So
nice.
And yeah, the one was breaded and the other one was was fried. So yeah, kind of like did like the mix. Like I got like a full mix there. So
yeah. Did you like order them from somewhere? Were they like frozen ones? Did you raise the chickens yourself and do it all?
No, I'm not Ryan Getzlaff. We ordered them from Brad Treliving's dad's restaurant.
Oh, Brad Treliving's dad's restaurant, which is
Boston Pizza.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, the GM of the Calgary Flames, his dad, who's the guy on Shark Tank, that Treliving or Dragon's Den, one of those shows. Yeah, he owns the Boston Pizza franchise, or like just owns Boston Pizza.
Okay. Oh, what's that guy's first name? I had no idea his last name was Treliving, so I never would even put that together.
Jim Treliving.
Yes, that's who it is. Yeah. Huh. Very cool. I also see we got oh, there you go. You brought it up. Emiage G saying hello, guys. Hello. Welcome to the chat.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty damn good. So, okay. Fun fact with BPs though, because you would think, Boston, it's very Boston orientated. So Jim Treliving is also Canadian. And in 2011, when the Vancouver Canucks and the Boston Bruins faced each other in the Stanley Cup final, all of Boston Pizza had a temporary rebrand to Vancouver Pizza.
I actually didn't know that. Like I knew it was Canadian, but I didn't know like they did a temporary rebrand.
Yeah.
Thing,
so yeah, you can go back and find it. Like like the whole thing is literally just Boston is crossed out like with a Sharpie, it looks like, and just Vancouver is written over top of it.
Oh yeah.
So it's just for like the 2 or 3 weeks, but yeah, just a fun little thing that they did. So
yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. How about you? How you doing right now?
Pretty good. I did not have chicken wings for dinner, but just on the way in here, I went to fill up my water bottle and I grabbed a dill pickle pepperoni stick from this local shop.
Ooh.
Would highly recommend.
Yeah, dill pickle pepperoni. That's something I've never thought about putting together, but damn, that would be good.
I know, right? That's what I thought too. I was so there I was after work Monday, I think. And I was in the grocery store and I was like, what the fuck are we going to have for dinner? So I just went to like grab a few things.
That's aggressive. What the fuck are we going to have for dinner?
Yeah. And so then I was just looking and like they had like a little, deli meat cooler thing. And I just saw these pepperoni sticks there. I was like, oh, I haven't had pepperoni sticks in the house in a while. And then I like picked them up to look at them, because I could tell they were from a local shop because, they weren't like, fancy packaging, and it said dill pickle. And I was like, that same reaction as you. I was like, never had this, never thought about it before, but hell yeah, I'm going to try it. And yeah, would definitely recommend. It's all right. It's a good combo.
So I guess I'm coming over to your place after this and I'm getting a pepperoni stick.
If there's any left. Yeah.
You're just going to be like deep throating them as soon as we're off air.
Yeah.
It's coming on.
Yeah. Just don't even chew them. They're the perfect, like, what is it? Circumference that you can just like slide them right down your throat.
Yeah.
Like sword swallower style.
Just the Phil Kessel hot dog way.
Yeah. Or more relevant to the show, the Max Jones corn dog way.
Yes, that too. Yeah. or the Pierre, or I guess not directly to the Ducks, obviously, or not even related to the Ducks, but I always think of the Pierre Maguire in the corn dog.
Yeah, that's just uncomfortable though.
It's just the guy that looks like a dick eating something that's in the shape of a dick.
Yeah.
we have new listeners, or fairly new to us at least listeners, and they're just like probably going, "What the hell is this conversation?"
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of saying that nice jersey collection, but throw out the window the Kings jersey. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is just a tiny portion of my collection that you see behind me. There's a lot more in this closet. There's even more in storage boxes and that kind of thing. So I gotta be. I haven't done an inventory check, I guess, in a while. I gotta be close to 100 at this point, I think.
Yeah,
I'd be
should. If your house burns down, then you got a record of all the jerseys, so you can get that sweet insurance money.
Yeah, I do have a file with like 2 images so far of like a couple, like just 2 of my jerseys that I have. And I was like, I should, like, that'll be a thing like once school's done for me, is taking pictures of all my jerseys and just like having a collection of them, kind of thing. So but yeah, we also got Sean in the chat here saying, hey, how's it going? How's it going, Sean?
Welcome.
Good to see you in here. Oh, but yeah, and don't get sick of the jersey talk, because there was some jersey news this week. You bet your ass we're going to be, well, I might be more.
Yeah.
I guess, Carter, whatever questions you have, I can do my best to answer them, because I've been avoiding homework and looking at this as much as possible. So, but yeah, we will definitely be talking some jerseys in a little bit here. So, but first, we got a couple games to talk about. We got 2 games on this episode, which hasn't happened for a little while.
Yeah, it's always kind of just been one. So yeah, I mean, I guess let's get right into it. Let's head all the way back to, was that Sunday night?
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday, yeah. So game number 70 on the season for the Anaheim Ducks is a 2-1 loss to the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the Bedard sweepstakes for Anaheim, that's exactly what you want. If you're a Canucks fan, you're just like livid right now. You're like, why couldn't we be doing this earlier in the season? Like, they're like 8-2 in their last 10 or something, I heard today.
Yeah, front office is going to go, well, it's because of Bruce Boudreau, and everybody else is going to go, no, it's just that you got Thatcher Demko back and playing good.
Yeah.
That's the difference there.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe you got rid of Bo Horvat, because I mean, they've kind of just been on a tear since then. Like, not saying anything bad against Bo Horvat, but like,
I don't think he was the issue. From what I understand, JT Miller's done a little bit better defensively, which when the bar is, close to the center of the earth, it's hard to, or it's pretty easy to go above that bar. So, yeah, so like, not saying that's just on one guy in particular, but if you have everybody playing a bit of a team defense game, and you have like your main guy in net, like, it's not supposed to be anything against Spencer Martin, Colin Delia, any of those goaltenders who have been in net for the Vancouver Canucks, but we all know who the guy is in Vancouver, right? The same way we all know who the guy is in Anaheim. In Vancouver, it's Demko.
But Demko was the guy to start the season too, and he was not
looking good. No.
Yeah, and then he got injured, and that was kind of the best thing for his season, honestly, because then he came back and has just been nuts ever since.
Yeah, like, I looked at it and I'm like, could pick him back up in fantasy, but I had him at the start of fantasy, and I don't want to go down that hole again.
Yeah.
Just in case. Maybe it's my fault.
Maybe. Yeah.
me
pick him up and see what happens. Yeah.
Me having him on both of my fantasy teams, maybe that's what did him in.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. Hockey gods work in mysterious ways. So You never know. Yeah. Also, sorry, going back and straying from this game for a sec, I meant to say this off to the top, and then we started talking about meat and all the various ways you can consume it. This is actually episode 50 of the season, which also means episode 250 of the show. So like kind of a soft milestone episode.
Yeah.
In a way. So like quarter of the way to 1,000 episodes.
which is wild to think about that way.
Yeah.
Halfway to 500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
And halfway to 300 based on when we had episode 200.
Yeah.
Halfway to another 100. That's a better way to say that.
And I think there was definitely less time between episode 100 and 200 because those first 100 episodes were middle of the pandemic and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so we were doing like
or there was like a
one
huge
to a
lull.
week, one a week or one every 2 weeks for like a good chunk of
so
time
we would
there. So.
probably be at like 300 right now if it wasn't for that little thing called the pandemic. But
probably, yeah, pretty close, anyways. So
yeah,
yep.
So
yeah. Anyways, though, just wanted to throw that out there for those that are keeping track, which is there's probably 2 people that are keeping track, and they're both on this stream right now. So
yeah, exactly.
But neat little thing that's happening this Wednesday night, Thursday, if you're listening to this on replay. But yeah, anyways, back to the Canucks game. Yeah, I mean, Demko was good enough, I guess, for the Canucks based off the volume and quality of shots that he had to face. Gibby was outstanding, as he needed to be.
Yeah, doing all he could in that game. So, which was quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, like Ducks did not get a ton of shots at all.
No, they didn't. Yeah, what was the final shots in that game? Of course, everything's refreshing on me. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, shots were 40-18 in favor of the Canucks.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
I feel like halfway through we had like 12. So like what the hell happened?
It was just rough the entire time. Yeah, if we're dividing this by periods, 17-4 was the first period alone.
Yeah, not surprising.
17-8 was the second period.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third period was 6-6.
So like both teams were just like, fuck it.
I think both teams really just locked it down defensively as much as they could.
If you would have told me that that's what would have happened before this game started, was they just locked it down defensively in the third, I would not have believed you. But
yeah,
given the shots, then yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Gibby 950 save percentage, made 38 stops on those 40 shots he faced. You have here he faced 8 high danger shots and stopped all 8 of them, and one of the goals against was a low danger shot, which he faced 20 of.
Yeah, so just to kind of show as well that Vancouver's offense, I don't think it was necessarily a defensive game as it was just both offenses weren't really going in this one. The Canucks and the Ducks both just taking a lot of low danger chances, just a lot of stuff from the outside. Yeah, not
every shot
lot.
on net is like, you take Bedard, just like a little muffin shot pass on net.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You take it. We want Bedard. We want Bedard to play with Zegras and McTavish. And then Vancouver goes, no, it's okay. You guys take it. We want Bedard. We want the hometown kid and that kind of thing. And San Jose's just down the road going, can we have him? And both teams are going, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
We will do our damnedest to make sure you don't get them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Chicago and Arizona too.
Yeah. Pretty low event game, honestly. I guess both the Canucks goals were technically on the power play too. Like one was actually on the power play. The other was on a delayed penalty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Delayed. Yeah, not right after.
Yeah. So, yeah. So like, 5-on-5, we might have given up a lot of chances, but no goals. I guess you can look at that as a positive spin there, but
a lot of penalties in this game though. The Canucks got 4 chances, meaning the Ducks got 4 penalties, which guys the fuck. And yeah, the Ducks getting 3 as well, but yeah, out of 7 opportunities, total only 1 capitalized on it. So
yeah. Just taking a look here, just 1 penalty by Zegras. It was a slashing too, so not like one of those boneheaded ones that we were talking about.
The interesting penalty out of all of those that you really don't see often was Kratzov for Vancouver playing without a helmet. That's a rule that came in just a couple years ago, just for those who haven't seen it happen. The only way you can continue to play without a helmet is if there is like an immediate scoring chance, I think is the classification of it.
Yeah, you can like finish the play. So like if you get it knocked off and like you have the puck, you get hit and your helmet falls off and you're like on your knees and the puck is right there, you can like kind of shovel it, but like you kind of have to like make one more play / finish the play. Like you can't continue skating with it.
Yeah, so. And if your helmet does come off, like you can try to put it up back on really quickly, but otherwise you have to skate off the ice. So at that point you're deemed an ineligible player and have to remove yourself from the situation. So
so it's a pretty lenient rule, all things considered, which is why you don't really see it too often. And like as soon as someone's helmet gets knocked off, you can hear on like the rink mics the ref yelling, "Put it back on, put it back," or like or something to that effect. Or just like yelling helmet at them so that they know like, hey, I see you, like I'm kind of counting down, like I'm only gonna say it a few more times before you get a penalty. So Kratzov was really pushing it here.
Well, there was like a confused look on his face. I don't think he knew the rule, to be honest with you.
I mean,
like it looked like the ref was even like explaining to him on his way to the bench. Like he didn't really have too much of a fight back. It looked like against the call. He was more just like, "What are you calling me for?" And it's like, "Well, this," and Kratzov's, "Oh, okay."
That's where he just starts speaking Russian and just throws the odd like no English, and then just like keep going with Russian. I don't think that would really fly when you play in America. So like you kind of have to know.
You can pull that for the first couple of years, I think.
Yeah, I think so, but he's been around long enough. You probably can't.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like no English. It's like you literally just asked me about my kids. Like I know you speak English.
Yeah.
I just heard you call Trevor Zegras a fucking bitch. Like, I know that you know
English. and then he says in Russian, but translating it to English, all I know are cuss words in English.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a good argument. So.
That's all you need on the rink, really. So
yeah.
And pass and shoot.
Yeah. That's where
you can do pretty well otherwise.
That's where the ref just says, "Fucking book it."
Man.
Anyways, obviously not a very exciting game if we can spend most of the time talking about the Kratzov penalty and how he doesn't speak English, but he actually does. So
Ryan Strome got the lone goal for the Ducks in this game, assist by Troy Terry. That was back-to-back games with goals for Strome in that one, which was great to see. And at the time, that extended Troy Terry's point streak to 4 games. But after the game against the Flames, that point streak came to an end. That game also, the Ducks only scored 1 goal.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, we were asking for consistency, I guess, at some point this season. This isn't quite what I thought, but I'll take it. With Dard stuff up for grabs, so
I suppose. Just before we get totally into the Calgary game, I saw Emioj had a quick question. By any chance, do you guys know if Jamie Drysdale might play some games before the regular season ends? I thought he was confirmed to be out for the season, or did I just kind of make that up?
I think it was more just that's what we were thinking the whole time, or leaning more towards, like if we were to be the ones deciding kind of thing, or in Jamie's shoes.
I thought there was something a week ago though maybe it was like a week ago that he was still out and not expected to skate anytime soon.
He was out and still in rehab, but I think Verbeek had said that there's a chance that he might be able to come play a couple games at the end of the season, but it's all up for evaluation. Like it's still unclear if there's even going to be that chance at the moment. So I'm thinking, and I would honestly kind of hope just for his sake, honestly, just to, take the rest of the summer kind of thing. Like I'm sure he wants to play, don't get me wrong. Yeah. And the Ducks would love to have him back, but
I mean, like he's not going to do anything to help the team. Like if he shows up. Like we're not playing for a playoff spot. Like that is long gone. At this point, Drysdale sitting out is for the betterment of the team because then we have a better chance at losing the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he's only at like 50% and like can barely even skate. Like he literally just like shows up, hasn't skated or like been on the ice since his injury and just shows up and gets fucking torched for 5 goals in his last few games. Like then maybe that would be helpful. But like, yeah, no, there's really no
We're
point
doing
in
that well on our own right now.
Yeah.
As we head to the Flames game where the Flames torched the Ducks and no pun intended 5-1. Hey, you said it, not me. I was just clarifying that there was no pun.
That was both for the bad pun and for the fact that the Flames won, which was horrendous in and of itself.
No. That's a good thing. That's hand claps. Connor Bedard.
Get your own keyboard and you can hand clap. See, it just sounds sad and pathetic when it's only one person, I think. Sorry, I'm just bitter. It was a tough night last night. Having to sit through that, but at least it was in the Honda Center though, so I didn't have to hear the Flames' stupid horn. Because God, that just triggers me. We've talked about it before. Like it's not even bad, but it's just like, oh my God, can we get out of here with that?
It's a distinct sound
associated with a lot of trauma.
Yeah, that's fair. Who was I saying was the worst goal horn? I said Winnipeg was one of them.
Yeah, Washington's is pretty bad.
Yeah, that was the other one I had said, right? Yeah. That was just like super obnoxious.
Yeah, Boston's is pretty obnoxious too, but it's like kind of iconic at the same time. Like it's like it when you hear it.
I got used to Boston's because that was our goal horn for when I played junior lacrosse. So
okay, fair.
I got used to that one.
Yeah.
I also got used to the LA Kings goal horn in particular. From just I think it was that NHL 21 or 22, I think. That's where I'd been drafted, like playing Be a Pro.
Oh, okay.
And I just lit it up with the Kings. So I was so used to hearing that goal horn at that point.
It's blasphemous, man. That's where you just got to start fresh.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just exit without saving and just get redrafted.
Yeah. I think I tried to not get picked in the top 3. And it didn't happen. Because I think that was the year that it like made it that you would get picked.
Oh, okay.
No matter what kind of thing. So
yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Again, another game that the Ducks very much deserved to lose based on the effort that they put out there on the ice.
Yeah, how this game resulted on the scoreboard is how the game a couple Fridays ago should have looked.
It's how we expected that one to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So, excuse me. Yeah. The money puck deserved to win-o-meter, clocking the Flames at 78.9% in favor to win this game. Yeah. Frank Vetrano getting the lone goal in this one, gives him 2 goals and 3 points in the last 5 games. So he's still producing
all right,
fairly well. So I know we talked about him on our guest appearance on Game Over Calgary on the SDPN there with Audie James. So
which was a fun time. Yep. Go check it out if you missed the live stream. It's wherever you're listening to this podcast, it's out there.
Yeah,
as well,
same spot. So I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that just to pull some. I don't know. It depends on how you look at the season, I guess. Are you wanting the team to not do as great for Bedard, or are you wanting to, see improvements all around, I guess?
Which at this point, it's too late to improve at this point.
You can have both, but are you going to look at it from a negative perspective, or are you going to go, this is helping us to better our odds? That was the Ducks' first power play goal since the game last Wednesday against the New York Islanders. So 2 games in between, which doesn't seem like a whole lot.
No.
6 power play chances in between, which compared to some of the droughts that we've had this season, that's not too much actually, but it's enough, I guess you could say. Yeah. Especially considering what our first unit looks like. The second unit is not it. The first unit you would expect to be producing a little bit more this season overall. And that leads into the power play being currently 31st in the league at 16.2%. But I wanted to dive a little bit deeper. I wanted to see what that was. So like how many power play chances we've had this season.
Okay.
So we've had 198 chances.
Okay, so almost 200. Yeah.
And we have converted on 32 of them.
And we're in game 71. So that's less than a power play goal every 2 games.
Yep.
and so how many power plays is that per game then? So this is after the Calgary game?
Yeah, that's after the Calgary game.
So 198 divided by 71, 2.78. So that's pretty reasonable, I think.
3 power plays a game. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could really go deep and compare it to the rest of the league, but I mean, I think we don't really need to. Like, that's pretty much what you think. So yeah, no, that's not great. Like, ideally, your power play should be scoring like once a game if you're getting.
Yeah.
Or like once. No, sorry. It should be scoring at least once in 2 out of every 3 games. Because that would be about a 4 for 9. No, that's too much. No, sorry. 2 for 9, which is like 22-ish%. That's like
something like that.
Fairly average. Like 25 is kind of average. So
yeah. And to make the power play goals look a slight bit better, but then not at the same time, power play goals are 17.6% of the total goals for the season. The Anaheim Ducks have scored 181 total goals this season, which I think is about almost 2.5, like 2.5 per game average.
Okay, yeah. So. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I was like, 181, like that seems low. But yeah, when you put it at 2.5, like that's probably I mean, like.
But in today's NHL, how many games are you going to win with only scoring 2 goals, right?
Yeah, see, I was just thinking in a 3-2 league.
As we just talked about,
that's a 500
Canucks and the Ducks.
record, but yeah. Yeah, so.
But not that there was a lack of try in this game against Calgary, though. The Ducks got 6 high danger shot attempts.
Is the bar that low? that 6 is what we're striving for.
It was decent at least, but the shot attempts, I guess, is more what I'm thinking about here. And I'll pull up the heat map here that I grabbed from Natural Stat Trick, and just something looks different. That's not normally what we see. We don't normally see that big red patch.
That's the Flames logo, Nate.
Yeah, no, I'm
I'm kidding.
The red patch. We don't normally see this type of layout for the Ducks, right? Like, we actually managed to get in Calgary's defense in the slot there a little bit on Dan Vladar's right side, and we got some good chances there, it looks like. So
yeah, and not just that too, but like we had shots from a little bit of everywhere as well. Like, yeah, there's a lot from the point, but there's also a good amount from the high slot, from the face-off dot. Like, it's good. We got chances kind of from everywhere, which it's been a while, if ever, if we've ever seen that, which I don't know if we have, but yeah, it's been a while since we've seen like that good of a distribution, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And a concentration where we want it to be, not a concentration from like the blue line in the corner of it or something like that, right? So
yeah,
of just like throwing pucks on net. We talked about it last night on Game Over. Gibby just didn't have any help from the offense or the defense necessarily otherwise. Putting up an 884 save percentage. Gibson had 15 high danger shots against, and 2 of those goals were high danger goals as well there. So, it just didn't look great, but not necessarily on Gibson for this game, I would say.
No, he did everything he was expected to and more, I think.
He looked good, but I mean, when you have Nick Ritchie being given an opportunity in the first 37 seconds.
And of course, Nick Ritchie too, right?
Yeah, and
what did we decide it was called on Game Over? The not famous
former
friends. Is that what it is? That
Oh,
someone that Audie knew called it?
Yeah, it was Steve Dangle's yeah, former friends or something like that. Yeah, something like that. So,
but yeah, no, former Duck scoring against the Ducks. But that's how it goes. So.
Yeah. See, I was looking at it more as Nick Ritchie and Troy Stetcher scoring against us, both former Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
Just there is a rivalry there. It's a really odd rivalry, but I'm here for it.
It's odd now, but in a few years, it's not going to be. It's going to be the norm.
Yeah, when hopefully both these teams are, tops of their division, meeting in the playoffs or something like that. Should hopefully be good times.
Yeah. Fuck the Battle of Alberta for the Pacific Division in like 4 years. Well, I mean, fuck it now because Calgary can't do anything right. But in a few years, it's going to be the battle of, I don't even know, the battle of the places with lots of sand because Anaheim has beaches and Arizona is literally in a desert. Or Arizona is literally a desert.
Western Conference Final.
Okay, sure. It's got less of a ring than the Battle of the Desert or the Battle of the Sand, but
the Battle of Gary Bettman's Supremacy.
There you go. I like that one.
I don't know.
That's good. Yeah.
Gary's done everything he can to keep Arizona there.
Yeah.
Like where they are. And Anaheim,
I don't want to say to some extent Arizona, or I don't want to say to some extent Anaheim, but like, bringing them to Anaheim in the first place, I guess, was like a bold move. Yeah.
But I guess at the same time, when you got Disney being like, yo, we want to buy a team, we can put it right here. With
who's going to say
money
no?
At the time, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Yeah. The battle of Gary Bettman's two favorite kids.
Yeah. Or would the Panthers be the other favorite kid, not the Ducks?
They're the third favorite.
It's definitely not the Jets because you let the Thrashers just go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, fuck Atlanta.
Even though there are rumors that they're going to be they're in the rumor mill for expansion.
That's the only way Arizona goes anywhere is if it's to Atlanta.
and they're not moving anybody. There's more money in new teams coming in than there is to relocate teams, right?
Yeah.
So it's either you're bringing in new teams or you're just selling the current ones to other people.
Yeah.
Like so the Ottawa Senators are looking to go for about $900 million right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, if a new owner comes in and says, I want to buy Arizona, but I don't, well, I guess I want to buy the Coyotes, but I want to move them out of Arizona.
I want to buy
I guess there would be a lot more money
Arizona.
Yeah. I want to buy all of Arizona and just move it to Atlanta. Just the whole thing. It's like that SpongeBob episode where they have the giant worm problem. Why don't we just take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else? I'm going to watch that as soon as we're done. I hope that you know that.
There you go. I figured as much.
How
do we even get here?
Not a fucking clue, man. I have no idea.
Welcome to the Quack Report if this is your first episode.
Yes, it's because we were talking about the rivalry with the Arizona Coyotes.
Right.
Because Stetcher and what's his nuts? Richie. Former Coyotes.
What's his nuts is more accurate, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's a former Ducks legend there. Put some respect on that. Jeez. Someone who's not a former Duck is the newcomer, actually, Nikita Nesterenko, making his NHL debut against the Flames the other night, and just starting off hot. Welcome to Anaheim, buddy. Here's a -1. It's basically like a handicap for playing in Anaheim. It's like, here's a minus.
In the first 37 seconds of the game, it's like, hey,
you're
on for your first NHL shift. This is awesome. You're playing a Canadian team as well. It's a big thing, and you've gotten scored on.
Welcome.
I went back and watched that play, and you can tell that he went from a team that has a system to a team that definitely does fucking not.
Yeah.
Like he is trying his damnedest where everyone else is, I kid you not, like just standing there. And he's the guy that's moving around. So, and it wasn't necessarily like because like sometimes you do have a guy that's moving around, and that fucks it up. It was not to his movement was not to the team's detriment.
Yeah, and also in fairness, he's coming in like, oh man, I'm just excited to play in the NHL, and the other 4 guys on the ice at the time are like, yeah, but you're not going to be fucking excited to play for the Anaheim Ducks this year. We are over it. Let me tell you that.
Nesterenko's like, I'm ready to go, and the rest of the Ducks are going like, okay, how many more days until I get to go on my vacation?
Yeah, I bet after that period, Nesterenko pulled out his phone in the dressing room, pulled up his contract, and was like, "Where's the termination clause of this? How do I get the fuck out of here?"
No, don't do that. You're going to get picked up by Arizona, and you're going to go right back to playing in university rinks.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to thrive there. What was it? 34 points, 36 games or something. So
yeah, that's what it was.
But you know, besides the early goal against that he was on the ice for, that it wasn't his fault. He looked really, really solid. I thought he had tons of good shots, especially in the third period. He finished with, what was it, 4 shots on goal, and 4 high danger CF chances
for. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically all of his shots were high danger chances there, which is great to see as well, right? From a young guy.
Yeah. And that's what I noticed too. Like they were all like, you know, he was picking up the puck right in front of the net, or just cutting into a good area to take a shot. And he was really moving. And I was really hoping for him to get a goal, or at least at least a point. I know you did put out a poll, which I think I said Nesterenko gets a point in his debut. Unfortunately, he didn't, but he was playing like he could have. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and his line with Lundestrom and Silfverberg there, which has been in the third line for that game. They actually played the most 5-on-5. Where there was 8 penalties in this game, to be fair. So, you know, when you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, he must have played a lot then. Or that line must have played a lot. No, they played 831 total together.
Yeah.
So but
and honestly too, like late in the game with we'll get to it in a bit, but with Troy Terry going out injured and us being down a forward, the lines kind of went into a blender anyways. But Nesterenko did get a lot of time playing with a lot of different people at that point, just kind of seeing, okay, well, because he was going and he was taking good shots, and his feet were moving a lot more than other guys, but I think also just to kind of figure out like, okay, who does this guy kind of have that natural chemistry with, whose play styles complements his and vice versa. So, you know, he did get a lot more than that 831 at 5-on-5, finished with 13:06 time on ice. And I don't know if I'm assuming you have natural stat trick up. I don't know if any of that was power play or penalty kill time. I don't think it.
None of it was special teams.
Yeah, so that's a lot of 5-on-5 then. In terms of forwards, actually, where does that sit for 5-on-5 time?
In terms of forwards, I got it right here. There we go. In terms of forwards, that is 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 10th.
10th at 5-on-5?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, so that's a lot lower than out of 12 forwards, and Terry didn't play most of the third. So
Brock McGinn played the least at 11:56, Max Jones 12:49, and then Nesterenko there at 13:06.
Okay,
the highest for a forward was Zegras at 18:17. Sorry, that's all situations here. Let's take a look.
I was like, that seems weird.
My bad.
5-on-5, yeah.
5-on-5, that puts here we go. Second.
There we go.
I didn't have to count very far.
I was like, there's no fucking way he was 10th at 5-on-5. Either that or he was like the most noticeable guy, like did everything he possibly could on every shift.
I fucked that one up. Zegras was the only guy to play more time 5-on-5 at 15:03 there.
Again, makes sense. So but that's why I was like, are you sure? Like 5-on-5, he was 10th. I was like, are you like 5-on-5?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you clarified.
I'm glad that you clarified.
Or I'm glad that you figured out that you were wrong. I guess. Yeah.
In my defense, today has been a wild day.
Oh yeah.
I've not had I maybe had like an hour break between things at most.
Yeah. No, that's fair. So yeah, I mean, when you're being coached by a Dallas Eakins team, or not by a Dallas Eakins team, when you're on a team that is being coached by Dallas Eakins, and
11
you're
more
playing,
games, everybody. 11 more games. Just
yeah, and you're playing in your very first NHL game, and you get the second most 5-on-5 minutes. You got to be doing something right.
Trevor Zegras and Mason McTavish are looking down the bench and they're going, "You didn't fucking do this with us.
Yeah.
We were first round picks. This guy's from the 6th."
They're like looking at Nesterenko. They're like, what's your deal? You got money? You've got like a hot like mom who's single. Like what is it? I don't get it. I know Eakins has a family and is presumably happily married. So probably not that, but never know. Never know.
I thought you were about to say presumably happily married, so probably not. Oh man.
Eakins is never coming on this show ever. Like it's
well, we might be able to get him when he's not on the team. We're not.
No, I mean, based off some of the things we say about him, there's no way he would ever want to. He'd be like,
it's all
I'll
in
check
joke.
these guys out. And,
It's all in joke.
is it?
It's all in joke.
It is.
The on ice stuff, maybe not so much, but like everything else, it's all in joke. It's all in fun.
I'm glad that the people in the chat enjoyed my too. I'm Emiage laughing.
We all laugh at the pain.
Yeah.
But it's not as painful because again, we're getting closer to Connor Bedard. Just that much closer.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah. You had just some overall thoughts here as well. If you want to, I guess you already talked about Terry, but feel free to hit these ones too. Because I think
the other one was the Connor Bedard cause.
Oh,
so I had.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So, and I guess it's something I guess that we were talking about on Sunday. That happened later that night because we recorded before the game against Vancouver. Sunday's game versus the Canucks did see the Ducks officially eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah.
No chance at the playoffs. Not that we thought that there was anyway.
No. Which one do I want to do here? How about this one?
Cool.
That's Trevor Zegras right there.
Yes.
So I'm like, no playoffs again. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
So,
All right.
it's more like John Gibson, but yeah.
Gibson's just like, thanks, fuck, I can sit
it
down for a second.
Yeah, I'll just put up a performance that's worthy of like a top 10 goaltender in the league because I'm that fucking elite. But no playoffs. Cool. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's. I think now's a good time to take a quick break. We have two pieces of news. One of them is going to be very quick because we've already kind of talked about it. The other one is going to be very not quick, which is why we're taking a break now.
Well, it'll be as quick as Carter determines it.
Yes.
If it's me determining it, it's gonna be.
We're going to be here till. Yeah, we're going to be here till probably midnight local time, which is 3 hours and 15 minutes from now. So yeah. So hence the break. We'll be back in just a minute to talk about, you guessed it, jerseys.
The biggest tournament in college basketball is underway, and the action is just getting started on DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. Plus, combine multiple bets for a shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings will be featuring parlays and odd boosts all tournament long, so be sure to check out DraftKings Sportsbook every day to see what they have in store. So, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with the code THPN. Right now, new customers can bet $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and get $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. Again, that's promo code THPN, as in the Hockey Podcast Network, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Okay. First piece of news, injury update. Troy Terry considered day-to-day, sandwiched between Nick Ritchie, Nikita Zadorov. In the third period, his helmet made contact with Zadorov after he was kind of sort of hit from behind by Ritchie, but not really because he kind of turned his back on him. Concussion protocol, didn't return to the game. Probably going to be an update Thursday. Okay, moving on. Nothing else to say about that because I know that Nate just wants to get to this one. New Jersey deal announced for the NHL.
Sorry, I guess, do we want to maybe talk about some news that just came out a little bit ago that I'm just seeing now?
Sure.
The Blackhawks are not wearing their pride jerseys tonight that they were going to be.
Not surprising. Yeah.
Citing security reasons, specifically for their Russian players.
Who do they have that's Russian?
The Chicago Blackhawks have. Let me take a look. I mean, I guess I probably would have had it in that article.
Yeah, it's too easy though.
Okay, never mind. Let's take a look here. Roster. They have. Okay, that's all Canadians. They got Nikita Zaitsev.
Okay, actually, so it says this is a different article. This is the Chicago Sun Times from a few hours ago. Says they have 3: Nikita Zaitsev, Philip Kurashev, and Kazakh goaltender Anton Hudobin, who has family in Russia.
So sorry, Hudobin, Zaitsev, and who was the other one?
Kurashev. He's Swiss, but presumably also would have family in Russia if they're bringing him up.
Munsingen. I don't even remember how to spell that. Munsin.
Sorry, what are you looking?
Kurashev is from Germany.
Oh, well, this article says Swiss, so I don't know. just reading.
I'm confused. Oh yeah, because it actually says CHE. What is CHE for a country?
Czech. I've usually seen
that would be
CZE.
CZE, or CZE for American listeners.
What's the other one?
Oh, that is Swiss. Okay, never mind.
CZE is Swiss. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one Russian player though, technically, and I guess one with family.
No. Kurashev and Hudobin have family in Russia, and then Zaitsev is Russian.
Oh, he is Russian. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that kind of, so that makes sense then. Like it's safety, not like for them, but for their families, since Russia is very anti-gay.
Yeah, I get the idea of it. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at the ESPN article right now from the Associated Press. Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a law in December that significantly expands restrictions on activities seen as promoting LGBTQIA plus rights in the country. There you go. Zaitsev is a Moscow native, and there are other players with family in Russia or other connections to the country. It is kind of interesting though, because the article does bring up right away, and I was going to as well. Just that there were 2 Russians in Nikolai Knols. Oh my, I don't even know how to say that. And so there's Alexander Barabanov and another Russian for the Sharks just on Saturday, who went ahead and wore them.
Do they have family in Russia though? Like they might, like their families
I would imagine,
might all be here.
I would imagine so. I don't know. Just this. I understand the idea of, making sure that everybody's safe, but at the same time, this one I'm conflicted with because it's a safety thing, but at the same time, it's like, I guess Putin probably doesn't care. I'm not trying to get like into the like straight up politics with this, but it doesn't matter, I guess, if it's on Russian soil or not.
Yeah.
Putin will do something.
Yeah, like you never really know.
Yeah, Chicago
with
is going to continue
him,
with the
so
uh rest of the stuff that they were going to do revolving the night.
yeah.
And I think it's just not the jerseys, but that's my thing though. Is it's why is it just? It seems to be just the jerseys that are the issue. Even going back to James Reimer last week, like he talked about, like the tape was fine because it wasn't as visible, but the jerseys where he draws the line. Like,
yeah, this is. I think it probably comes from the old like. Well, it's not even really old because like to some extent like we have this mentality as well, but like that and just this is going to sound really bad at first, but then let me explain. But like the jersey is sacred for hockey. Like ads on jerseys were like huge. Like, and like people, there's still a lot of people that are like, no fucking way am I buying a jersey with an ad on it. So like, and for me, I have no problem with pride jerseys. Same with you. So to me, like that's not like something that is going to like a foul or like, oh my God, I can't believe you put rainbows on my tough, manly hockey sweater. Like, oh my God, how dare you? Like, we're not that way. But to the people that are not necessarily, we'll say pro rainbow, or supportive of the LGBTQ plus community, that would be like a big no-no for them. Like, I can see how that would be like, oh my God, it's like putting ads on my jersey, like ads on jerseys, rainbows on jerseys. Like I can see how they are making that the same. Whereas like, oh yeah, I can use rainbow stick tape. Sure, why not? Like that's like the only thing I could really see. But I don't know. I'm totally speculating here because it doesn't really make sense to me. So
yeah, I get it. Like obviously you want people to be safe, but at the same time, there's obviously going to be negative feedback overall to this as well, because it is another team saying no, like we were going to do these, but we're not going to now.
Yeah.
Right. And why was this a decision that got made suddenly to like the questionable part to me is that this is a decision that was made today, like a couple, like it looks like an hour or two before puck drop. Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably so that there's less like PR around it. Like if you say it last week, then people have a whole week to be pissy about it. Whereas if you come out and say it, 4 hours before the game, then okay, now we're not wearing these, and then people are upset, and then the game happens, and then there's nothing you can do about it. Like starting tomorrow, so then people can't not like move on, but from a PR standpoint, I can see it as well. Again, I'm still not trying to like justify these things. I'm just like trying to come at them from.
But my thing with that though is that if it's it's a law that was signed in December that became a thing in December, right? That's 4 months ago at this point.
So you're saying like why didn't they decide 4 months ago,
or just a lot? Like quite a bit, like quite a while ago, right? Like to me, the 2 hours before puck drop feels like not discrediting the the possible threat to people's families or anything like that, but it also it kind of feels a little bit like the scapegoat.
Yeah, I mean it's entirely possible where like that's like the excuse in a way. But I mean, at the same time, like we don't know what could have happened in the last 24 hours. Like, I don't know, like Kurashev could have got, or what was the guy? Zaitsev is the guy who actually is from Russia. Like, or like any of the three. I don't know. I guess I don't think Hudobin is actually playing for the Blackhawks, but yeah, we'll say Kurashev because that's who I started with. Maybe Kurashev got like, I don't know, an email from like a random thing, like a random address in Russian that said like, don't wear a pride jersey or I'll kill your whole family. And he was like, fuck this, I'm out. I'm not wearing it because I don't want my family to, get their fingernails ripped off and then their heads blown off. And then I get sent the video on a USB drive or whatever. Like that's,
yeah.
So like, I don't know. Again, I'm just like kind of speculating, but you're right. The other angle could be that it's just an excuse, like a lazy excuse to not
The
do it. So
again, like I'm not trying to discredit people's safety. It just the timing is suspicious to me.
yeah,
That's all.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just like unsurprised by it at this point. So
Yeah, I'm taking a look at an article from TSN right now that's done by the Canadian Press. I'm trying to see if I can pull anything else out of it offhand really quickly here. One thing I did see though already though was that like this wasn't even communicated to the team. This was just executives we're making the decision on this.
oh, okay.
So
Hmm.
Yeah, it's citing the the law in Russia again. Bringing up, what this is coming after, James Reimer, Ivan
Yeah.
Provorov, the Rangers the Rangers opting to not wear the pride jerseys that they were originally going to wear as well. Same thing, kind of the day of, they decided not to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's something I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. See if like what else comes out of that tonight. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, keeping on the jersey wagon though. The
yeah.
yeah, with well, I was going to say with less controversy, but no, actually not. less important controversy, we'll say, but still very controversial. 10-year deal signed between the NHL and Fanatics. Yes, the same Fanatics that does the replica jerseys that you've probably seen get screwed up by either firsthand or by someone you know, or just on social media or whatever, and
jerseys,
in just hilarious ways.
T-shirts, hats, whatever they sell, probably seen it messed up one way or another.
Yeah. So when this news came out just yesterday, actually Tuesday, definitely a lot of people on social media were, you could say, were not fanatics about it.
Thank you. I was going to ask you to press that.
I thought that was like I thought of it during a break. I was like, I'm going to shoehorn that in so fucking hard. It's also going to be the episode title. So there you go. Anyways, I have nothing else to say on this topic after I got that in. So yeah, take it away.
Okay. I'll give a little bit, I guess, of an outline of a couple things. Whatever questions you have, though, that maybe just the person who's interested in jerseys but is not me, where I've spent probably like a tuition's worth on them or something like that
easily.
Feel like ask me those questions, I'll do my best to answer them. So there's a great article as well from Greg Wyszynski on of ESPN to definitely go check out. He talks with Doug Mack, the CEO of Fanatics Commerce, and Brian Jennings, the NHL executive vice president of marketing. And it is a great article and talks about the future and that kind of thing. We're going to kind of touch on things here and there, kind of just things I've done on my own, things from this article and whatnot, just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So back in 2017, Adidas began to be the on ice jersey supplier to the NHL for all 31 teams at the time. After a 10-year partnership with Reebok. So Adidas, I think this was January or February of last year. There was an announcement from Greg Wyszynski as well. Actually, he's the one who broke the news that Adidas was not going to be renewing its deal that was to expire at the end of the 23-24 season for being the jersey supplier to the NHL. So a lot of speculation going on right away of, okay, well, who's going to be the new supplier? A lot of people thought, Nike, that they seemed like an obvious choice. Another one that was a heavy fan favorite was CCM. They outfit, the AHL, they outfit the 3 leagues across the CHL and many others, right? Like CCM is a very well-known hockey brand, especially. And, we're owned by Reebok and Adidas at one point as well. There was a lot of speculation of, who would be the next one and that sort of thing. And one of those The least liked option that was out there was Fanatics as well, who they do have some experience in professional on field, on ice, whatever you want to call it, jerseys. They do manufacture the jerseys for all the teams in the MLB, just with the Nike branding on it, and same with the NFL. They do all their jerseys as well, just with Nike branding on it. So there is some experience there. So
quick question: Are and I mean it's probably not out yet, but have they said, or do you think that they will put the Nike logo on NHL jerseys?
No, because I think I haven't heard anything about that, but I feel like it's not going to happen, right? Like Nike has deals with those leagues as well, right? And those, like Nike is a lot more of a prominent thing in baseball, in football, right? Whereas Nike's
I guess,
not really as much with the hockey game anymore. They were at one point, right? Bauer was a division of Nike there for a while in like mid to late 2000s. But I wouldn't be expecting to see Nike logos on NHL jerseys, especially considering Nike does have like they are known for their hockey jerseys, I guess, right? Like specifically in the international game, right? So all international jerseys for the World Championship, the Olympics, they've all been done by Nike for as long as I can remember, at least.
Yeah. Now, is Fanatics owned by Nike in some capacity, or?
No, I believe Nike, some capacity of the Nike branding is under Fanatics, or it's a partnership between the two.
Gotcha.
I can double check that for you though, because I was looking at that yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, it would just be weird otherwise if Fanatics made the NFL and MLB jerseys, but there was a Nike logo, if there wasn't like some sort of ownership or, like mutual partnership agreement or something like that.
Exactly.
Was in place. So,
okay, that's not the page I was wanting. I know I saw it somewhere here.
Yeah, because initially I thought Fanatics was part owned by or fully owned by Adidas, but that's obviously not the case. There was two separate deals. Fanatics does the replicas, Adidas does the authentic replicas, or whatever the terminology is. The fake ones and the more fake ones is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I'm not able to find it right. Oh, maybe is this it? Fanatics Commerce? Is that what we're looking for? Okay, maybe not.
No. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. When I find out that answer, I'll let everybody know. But
okay.
So anyway, a lot of speculation on to who it was going to be, and Tuesday morning, bright and early for the Pacific Coast for sure. Actually, no, I guess even for the East Coast, I think it was like 6:30 Eastern or something like that. This announcement was made. The NHL and Fanatics announced that they've signed a 10-year partnership, and Fanatics is going to produce the on-ice jerseys for the NHL starting in the 24-25 season. In terms of the on-ice stuff, I obviously had some questions. There was some information, that was given from Greg Wyszynski and just some other sources as well. So Fanatics is going to operate the jerseys for at least the first while out of the same factory that is currently doing the Adidas jerseys, and that is it's SP, or it's the same factory as SP as well. Which you can go check out their website and see that everything they've done is top of the line kind of thing, and has been done for years and for everybody kind of thing. Like that is the factory basically for jerseys, and based out of Quebec in Canada there. So teams are, like Fanatics is also going to hold off on any like massive changes to the jersey. They said there might be like a tweak of a couple fabrics here and there, but it won't be for maybe 2 or 3 years into the deal before they're looking at more overall changes. But it seems like it'll be more to like the technology behind it, not necessarily to like the look of jerseys or that sort of thing. So, which I'm happy with the look of the jerseys that Adidas brought in, which Adidas doesn't own. The look and that sort of thing of those jerseys is something that I learned. So you straight up
and that's
might
not to
have
say like the branding. That's to say like the striping patterns on like the Ducks jersey,
like the
those will stay
manufacturing.
the same, or like the manufacturing process. Yeah, but like they would say after a few years, like I don't know, change this to I don't know, just like an eggplant and like the base to like more of like a jade kind of color. Just spitballing ideas here, like that. Like that's still possible, or like in the realm of possibilities for the first few years, right? It's just
No, so that's actually to be a little bit later. So Fanatics is going to be asking teams not to be looking at any major redesigns for the first couple of years, just until they're established with doing these on ice jerseys full time. So my question right away, and for I'm sure a few Ducks fans, my question went to the speculative rebranding of the Ducks, right? Going back to the mighty logo is kind of probably the most that we'll see out of this, I think.
yeah.
I would be very surprised if they did go back to the eggplant and jade at this point, to be honest with you, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to it at the same time.
No one would be, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of fans would be. So it's such a unique color palette, but I digress. So yeah, so the thing for me was kind of okay, because we saw it with Reebok specifically when the Edge program came in. You had Vancouver, Washington, San Jose, Tampa Bay. Who else? I'm missing a couple other teams as well. Did like major redesigns. Boston was one, I guess, as well, with their branding and whatnot. So that's 5. There's 2 teams I'm missing, and I can't think of them offhand right now. Anyway, though, we saw massive rebrands out of that, and new looks for jerseys pretty well across the board, except for like the original 6 teams. I feel like, and even with Adidas, it was a little less of the crazy changes, I guess. Besides, adding Vegas into the mix, but it's more just a couple like jersey style tweaks more than full rebrands of anything, I guess.
Yeah.
Now there's kind of 2 ways that if this speculative rebrand were to happen for the Ducks, there's 2 ways I could see it going. It's either going to be delayed for a few years because I believe it was I'll double check here. It was one of the 2 of Doug Mack or Brian Jennings that was talking about how like kind of redesigns of that is kind of what is the main thing that delay different things, right? Just because it's such a process to go through that.
Yeah.
So that might just get delayed until Fanatics has their feet in the water and and are treading water on their own kind of thing, right? They understand fully what they're doing and they're good to go with anything new that they and teams wish to do at that point. The other idea, and it would have to be currently happening right now, otherwise it would be a very rushed job, but crazier things have happened, I guess, would be that we see it, what I think a lot of fans are thinking of as well, next season with the 30th anniversary, right? Just happens to line up. And that's not, it's not usual, I guess, to see a rebrand before a brand new jersey supplier takes over, right? Because that's a lot of product that company would be putting out that, isn't something that's going to be available for a few years kind of thing, right? But a couple examples, the Ducks are one team that has done it before, actually. Before the Reebok Edge jerseys back in 2007, the Anaheim Mighty Ducks rebranded to the Anaheim Ducks for a singular season for 2006-2007. The only year of the word mark with the kind of old like the vintage boxy kind of jerseys.
Yeah.
Won a Stanley Cup in that, and the following year we're in the Reebok Edge system, which they didn't change really too much of the look overall kind of thing, but it's an example there. The Buffalo Sabres was another team. They went from the goat head to the buff slug the year before Reebok took over, and that kind of thing. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. And then more recently, I guess, from Reebok to Adidas, you would have had the Florida Panthers rebranding to what they're wearing now. And the other team was I kind of forgot about this one, actually. I thought there was 2 years with it. The Toronto Maple Leafs went from like the old, like really straight Maple Leaf logo, they like Matt Sundin, to the, you know, the first year of Austin Matthews and the leaf and the look of the jersey that they have now kind of thing. Yeah. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just a little more rare, I guess, overall. But you know, if you have a team like Adidas, who really over the last few years have been nailing it out of the park with their jersey designing and whatnot, like in their collaboration with teams, you know, if you want to set up the next 10 years of what the Anaheim Ducks, what Trevor Zegras, what Jamie Drysdale, what Troy Terry, what John Gibson, what possibly Connor Bedard are going to be wearing for the next 10 years kind of thing, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go with Adidas and work with them to get this out kind of for next year. But it's
and I mean, I think that a lot of the teams would have a lot more of an inside scoop on kind of what's going, like they would be one of the first to know of like the New Jersey supplier coming in / Adidas not renewing their deal. So they would have a little bit of a head step on, like, I guess rebranding. But also with the Ducks 30th anniversary coming in, they would already be working on that kind of stuff anyways. So it's not like, oh fuck, like now's the time, let's figure it out kind of thing. It's like, okay, we were already working on this. We already had a team put together. We were already working on designs or whatever. So like, I don't know. I guess we just got to add a couple extra things for these new jerseys. And also in terms of a Ducks rebrand, are we not just taking like, say, this jersey or the reverse retro jersey or the third jersey, and in the case of this home jersey that's behind me, just slapping the Mighty Duck on it? At worst, maybe you take this one, the 25th anniversary, and just change the colors. Like, the Ducks aren't getting wild. It's not like we're doing new logo, new color palette, like all that kind of shit. It's we're taking an old logo and the current color palette and we're just smushing it together. And, you know, maybe we'll tweak it to make it work, but like, it's not like, okay, we're starting from scratch. Let's get ideas. What are we doing here?
It's definitely a design aspect of it. If the Ducks were to be going off of, say, the reverse retro, right, then yeah, you'd have to make a home version of it, whether it's an orange version or a black.
We have a home version of it.
Yeah, and if you're going off of the alternate, right, which does have different striping, you know, you're trying to make it work on a white base at that point, right? And not but then again, not all home and away jerseys are the same template, just with colors swapped around, right?
Look at Carolina. They've got three very different jerseys.
Holy fuck, that's a whole other conversation.
The next step for them is to just have 3 different color palettes. You do black and red for home. You do like, I don't know.
They already have 2. You got the Hartford colors.
Yeah, there you go.
Carolina ones. So
so there you go. Like, who gives a fuck about design principles in Carolina? Nobody.
So it's more there's a lot of testing and prototyping that needs to be done, right? And these jerseys go through a lot of different variations before the final one is determined, right? It's not, you know, just like one designer typically is working on this, gives like their first draft, and they just go, yep, that's good, right? So like this goes through so many different iterations of, even like you could have the same jersey, but try with 3 different collars. Like different color styles, or like just even the lace styles alone, right? It goes through such a process, and it's a process that usually takes about 2 years to do, actually. So say like I know for you and me, right? Calgary and Edmonton are going to be playing in the Heritage Classic in October next year, right? So that's a jersey that's been being, like, those jerseys have been worked on now for at least a year and a half, right? So you know, you got to do which some I'm kind of surprised they've even gotten through, i.e. like the Carolina Stadium Series jersey, which like in person, that looks great. But man, those numbers are hard to read on TV. I can only feel for the broadcasters who are sitting way the fuck back, having to read those numbers, right? So, but they got to go through like on ice testing, broadcast testing, you know, just if there's anything with the striping that you know, players are noticing, right? Like players have to test these things as well, which was an issue with the original Reebok Edge jerseys. Reebok, they had two different versions. You couldn't tell, but players could personally. So you know, like when like San Jose had two different jerseys in the like sets of home and aways in the Reebok era. The first one's having the striping on the bottom of it, and those jerseys got tossed aside because the original way that Reebok had done the jerseys, the moisture repelling properties were kind of doing too good, and the sweat was just going into players' gloves and into their pants and that kind of thing. So it was just putting the sweat somewhere else instead of just like dispersed throughout your body, basically. So yeah, just having to change that up a little bit and stuff like that. So
So you're right. It is a process. But if they're changing it for the 30th anniversary, or we're planning they're kind of already on that track anyways, right?
Yeah, so. if it's happening for the 30th, like, and like I said, like I wouldn't be surprised. It's just not as common to do, I guess.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised because, you know, they seem to be pushing the Mighty Duck just a little bit more, right? Like
just
since the 25th anniversary, which was what 2018, I think it was.
Well, 23, 24, if that's 30.
Yeah.
It would be 2018-19 would be the 25th anniversary.
So since then, there have been 4 different Mighty Ducks jerseys that we have seen from the Samueli owned Anaheim hockey team, right? It's a lot more than we got for the entire duration before 2018.
Yeah.
Way more, right? So just it's might have been like that really slow testing of it where fans are going like, yes, we want this, just fucking give it to us.
So like it does make a lot of sense. Like it would be the worst kept secret in the world if they came out and were like, hey, Mighty Ducks for the 30th anniversary. Like, fuck it, no shit. Like we could see it coming from a mile away.
Say,
oh, absolutely.
Say thank you. Finally, thank you for listening to us, right? Because the fans don't feel overly listened to in that sense, right? Like for like, you know, really the only connection that fans have to the, not even just the web duckfoot, but like the word mark, I guess, which that was just a bad mistake in itself, I think. That's just my own opinion, though. The only connection that they have to that is, hey, we won the cup in those in 2007. But since then, it doesn't really do anything, right? It's not so much like, you get the nostalgia from the jersey itself, but it was the players, it was the executives, right, that made that happen leading up to it. So, like, if you think about it, if the Samuelis had waited just one more year and done the whole rebrand in the for Reebok Edge coming out, the Anaheim Duck would have been the Anaheim Mighty Ducks winning the Stanley Cup, right? It was only 1 year removed. So
exactly.
So as much as, you know, it's not the more common thing, I guess, to do, it wouldn't surprise me just with, you know, the 30th anniversary lining up and
the history of not giving a shit if a new supplier is coming in the following year.
Yeah, exactly. I guess so. But but by the quotes that I was reading, though, like of the, we're gonna ask teams to hold off on like rebrands or like any big changes. So if those were planned for in I guess a year or two ahead, like not next year, and those are kind of on hold now. So,
but I mean, is that defined as a big change though? Because like I said, we're just taking old shit that we had and just smushing it together. It's like leftover night for the Anaheim Ducks jerseys.
Okay, if you're keeping one of the jerseys, then yes, it's not much of a change. But the other one still has to go through all that testing and that too, right? The 2-year process. So
unless they've already been working on it, or
yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, oh, we have because I'm just looking at it right now. We have the reverse retro from this year. Like we already kind of know what works, what doesn't. We're just going to adjust the striping to like work more with the alternate template, I guess.
Yeah.
Or we're just going to take the current home jersey, or sorry, the current away jersey, slap the Mighty Duck logo that's on the third. I'm going to start over because no one's going to fucking follow me here. We're going to take the third jersey, the alternate jersey. That's now the home jersey. We're going to take the current away jersey, rip the web duck foot off, and throw it into the ocean, I guess. I was like, what's the name of the water by Anaheim? The ocean. The Pacific Ocean.
The fucking Pacific Ocean? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't live near the ocean, so forgive me. And then we're just gonna replace that with the reverse retro logo. Like, again, I
Please
don't know.
do that one though. Please don't do that one though.
What, the reverse retro logo?
The Mighty Duck logo on like the current away jersey or the current home jersey that's behind you. Please don't do that one. No,
but if they
I'd be happy with the logo coming back, but God, the home and away jerseys suck. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not a fan. But no, but I'm saying the alternate jersey is the home. The away jersey is the same because those have the same striping patterns, do they not? Like the away jersey is basically this with white, and then the alternate is this but orange, and the orange is then black.
No, the alternate's very different. Here, give me 2 seconds and I will grab it out of the closet. You talk for a second. You talk for a second.
Okay. Yeah, I just can't picture it in my head right now. So I know that it's orange and it has the Mighty Duck, but in terms of like the striping, I couldn't fucking tell you what it is. So
the alternate jersey is based off of the socks that the team wears.
Okay, makes sense.
So yeah, it's more horizontal striping.
Oh, okay.
Around kind of thing.
Okay, new plan. We take the current reverse retro jersey, and then we take the current alternate jersey, and instead of horizontal lines, you reuse the little chevron designs. But otherwise, it's like the same patterns. It's just instead of straight, you've got it bent in half, and then boom, you're done. That's it. That's all you got to do. Easiest rebrand ever.
Or you just take the alternate and the reverse retro, and you call it good.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that too. Yeah. You were just complaining earlier about how they don't match because the striping's different. So I was like, okay, well, if they got to match, then.
Oh no! Sorry, I wasn't complaining about it. I was just saying like that. As much as it might still be the same striping, you still have to go through the testing and just to make sure it looks good and performs well. That's what I was meaning. Yeah. Sorry,
but then that's not defined as a major change. It's a minor change. We're just tweaking it, For those that I guess just listening, I'm not just making mouth noises. I'm moving my fingers from touching tips to being bent in half at like a 90-degree angle. So
but you still have to change like the entire the manufacturing process changes, right? And that takes time to make sure that you're getting that as well as you can and that kind of thing.
No, because you already have the template figured out. You're just changing the color of the fabric. To me, it's easy peasy. It's the equivalent of opening up Microsoft Paint, hitting the little fill bucket tool, and just clicking. Like in my mind, that's as easy as it is, and nobody can tell me otherwise.
So I guess like Fanatics has been in the NHL realm since 2018, right? They got the athletic pro gear at that time, so that's pretty much everything that the players wear not on the ice. So any workout gear, any hats or that kind of thing, like every hat that you see the backup goalie wearing, that's a Fanatics hat, right? Jackets, anything like that. It's all Fanatics at that point.
I think the biggest thing that people were concerned about really is just like the quality control for these kind of things. Like we know that Fanatics has proven that they can make good quality stuff. It's just sorry, let me rephrase that. They can make stuff that is, I was just going to say make stuff that's of good quality. That's the same thing. They can do this kind of stuff. Their manufacturing processes can be good. It's just when they're not making like the cream of the crop top tier stuff is where some of the issues start to creep in.
Yeah. So I think in terms of the on ice stuff, I'm not worried about the quality of it because it's going to be going through the same people, the same, like I said, manufacturing, same factory. And by the sounds of it, it's going to be the same look, just with a couple materials maybe modified, I guess. Right. So there's not going to be too much change to the on ice for at least the first few years, right? While they figure out kind of their own version of a jersey, right? So
Mhm.
the look overall kind of thing might change in like a few more years after the fact kind of thing. The
Yeah.
question is still with that retail side, right?
Mhm.
Because it feels like Fanatics suddenly has a monopoly now on the NHL, which the NHL has stressed, it's not quite the case because, we do still have other deals with like New Era or I was going to say Mitchell and Ness, but Mitchell and Ness is actually owned by Fanatics.
Yeah.
And
They,
but
they
like
don't have deals with these people, but there is still China who's
yeah,
making
so
making
like
jerseys and shipping them over. So
yeah, so like there are other brands that are doing NHL stuff out there, right?
yeah,
Like
legally
Champion's
or not.
another one, yeah. But
And I mean,
I
like they could
do,
still
yeah,
come out with another deal for a retail supplier of these jerseys. Like there's nothing saying that Fanatics is the only jersey maker now. Fanatics is just, and this is my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Fanatics is just taking over the on ice and the authentic side of things. Whereas,
yeah.
so
So
they're just kind of like moving up the ladder. But like, I don't know, you could still get, I'm just going to pick a name. You could just like Nike or Reebok to do the and again, totally just pulling the names out of my ass
yeah,
that
it'll
I know they could still be doing like the cheaper versions, the like fan versions, not the collector versions like for you and the ones that I like to get even, but
yeah.
like the your $100, $150 jerseys that are made out of slightly cheaper materials, but at a glance and for wearing out to the bar or whatever is kind of just what you want.
Yeah, based off of history and the fact that, Fanatics has those retail rights right now, I would be very surprised if they gave it to somebody else or if they, did something like that. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be, both the on ice and the off ice are going to be Fanatics, right? But and that's how it is with the NFL as well, right? So,
Yeah.
like the replica stuff is Fanatics, but that still has the Nike branding on it
Mhm.
for the NFL and the MLB. With the NHL though, because Fanatics is going to be able to put their name straight onto the authentic jersey, right? Because if
Yeah.
you look at any Fanatics NHL jerseys right now, there's not the Fanatics branding on it, like where the Adidas patch is on the like on
Mhm.
the back of the shoulders kind of thing. There's
Yeah.
nothing there on the Fanatics jerseys.
Oh, okay.
So that will probably be added, right? Because
Yeah.
it's, like when Reebok was doing the on ice stuff and they were also doing the retail jerseys, right? Reebok was still on the jerseys, on the retail
Mhm.
jerseys specifically. So
Yeah.
um so yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with the retail side because I've seen the Fanatics retail baseball and I have one of the football jerseys. They're
Mhm.
not that bad, but like they're good. They're good.
Yeah.
The NHL jerseys, though, is where hockey fans have the
Mhm.
issues, right? So, and like part
Yeah.
of the reason, like I like besides like the quality control, I've been pretty fortunate that Fanatic stuff that I've gotten has actually been pretty good,
Mhm.
right? But I've seen way too many horror stories to count, kind of thing, to show. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got lucky, I think, in these cases.
Oh yeah.
So,
No, that's fair. I did actually look up just while you were talking a little bit more into that Fanatics and Nike deal and what
yeah,
that's all about. So, Fanatics back in I think 2019 by the sounds of it. This is just from Wikipedia, so not a ton of details, but there's a little number with a box or a little number in square brackets beside the end of this sentence. So it's got to be legit. Fanatics announced a 10-year deal with Nike, the NFL, and the MLB that granted Fanatics the rights to design, manufacture, and distribute all Nike fan gear sold at retail for both of the leagues. So Nike, I guess, is the money behind it, whereas Fanatics is designing and making and then shipping out and fulfilling all of the orders for the NFL and MLB fan gear
yeah,
stuff. So what that says to me is Nike kind of has the final say and Fanatics kind of has to live up to Nike's quality standards, which is obviously very high. Whereas in the NHL, they're just off to do their own thing. So they're just at their own standards. Exactly. Yeah. And
all about money to Gary and the owners. It's all about money.
yeah.
And that's one thing I said
And
right
to the
away
Fanatics as well. So
yeah, but that's one thing I said like right away about the Fanatics NHL deal, right? Is that Fanatics has not only their foot in the door with the NHL, right? But at the same time, the NHL could have easily gone to Nike or CCM, right? Who have proven track records in hockey specifically, right? In hockey jerseys to go, hey, do you guys want this? Or, get the bids from them. What it sounds like is that the NHL just offered it to Fanatics,
yeah,
which is that kind of has me worried as well.
a little bit. I
Just
could
a touch,
see that.
just
Yeah.
a touch.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, it's more that retail side that I'm
Yeah.
a little more hesitant of, especially looking at the NFL and MLB Fanatics websites, where like fans have gotten used to the quote unquote authentics, like the retail made in Indonesia jerseys. The genuine authentic on ice jerseys are, like I said, made in Canada, made in Quebec. And I'm fortunate to own one of those jerseys. But the authentics for the MLB and the NFL are available on the Fanatics website. You can buy them just as easily as the NHL ones right now. Like the Indonesian made ones. Those NFL and MLB ones, though, are going to run you about $550 currently.
Oh, geez.
Canadian.
Even for the non-made in Canada. Or are these the made in Canada authentic ones?
So now I don't know where the or I guess the MLB ones would be made at that same factory, actually.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like if you were to get the genuine thing, it's going to run you about 550 Canadian, which is probably about, I think, 400 American. If I'm just off the top of my head kind of thing.
Now,
That's
so
still a
this
lot
is like
of money. That's still, more than the 180 for the, again, quote unquote, authentic. There's, yeah, Adidas and Fanatics with the 3 different levels of jerseys kind of fucked us up again.
Yeah. So the $400 and $500 jerseys that you're talking about are equivalent to like basically 99% of your collection, like all the jerseys that are hanging on the wall right now. That's like the NHL equivalent of, those $400 and $500 jerseys are the NFL equivalent to the ones hanging on your wall from the NHL that are made by Adidas. Is that
no? So to my understanding, the $550 ones are the equivalent to the on ice like Adidas jerseys that the NHL is wearing right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
The ones that I only have one of.
Yeah. Okay.
So, so those will be available, kind of thing, and then you have the retail versions, like the breakaway, that are your $150 Canadian kind of price range. So that's the only place I have, like, on retail side. I guess not the only place in retail, but like that's one of the concerns that I have, at least, is that, for people who are wanting that authentic thing again, it's going to run them a lot of money again, right? It's going to be like the original days of, or like the days of Reebok kind of thing, where, those authentic style ones ran you the $500 or more kind of thing. So, and, in that case, though, the Reebok retail ones were pretty good, I would say. Right. So like I still got a bunch of Reebok ones and they still hold up, kind of thing. So, but yeah, I'm just hoping that the quality overall of the retail stuff, from shirts and whatever, but especially the jerseys, improves. So, like, the one big thing out of the retail Fanatics jerseys that I'm begging for, because this is the entire reason that I went for the Adidas authentic ones, and I'm shelling out 200 Canadian each for, like, at full price kind of thing, is purely just the logos. Please don't give me the shiny crap anymore.
Yeah.
Or like just like the stuff that folds as easy as tissue paper. Right. Like I understand there's kind of like there's a bit of a technology behind it where it's like not supposed to really crease, but like I got some examples of like numbering on the authentic Adidas ones that are done by Fanatics that say otherwise. Take the technology of the Adidas logos, right? Which those ones don't crease, or they're not
Mhm.
supposed to, right? If you crease them, you really fucked it up. Basically, we'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Just put that on a Fanatics jersey and just make sure the quality control is good, and
Mhm.
you're gonna make a lot of people happy that way.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So
sure. The last thing I have to say, and this is where I'm gonna
yeah,
nerd
and if,
out
and if yeah, and
just a
if you have
touch,
any
but
and if you have any other questions as well that like you think other people might have, go for it. So
okay. No, I think you did a good job of explaining it.
yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, the only other thing I was gonna say was that Fanatics right now, their job in the like jersey retail marketplace is to be like the lowest cost supplier, because there's the super high end Adidas, like made in Canada ones. There's the Adidas Breakaway. Is that what you said they were called?
The Indos, like the Indonesian authentic, like
Okay. Which is
it's all the ones that I have behind me here.
yeah, those ones. So that mid tier, that's kind of the affordable, high quality brand of jerseys, I guess. And then there's Fanatics, which is essentially their job is to make a jersey that the average person can buy and wear. And that leads to cutting corners, like, cheap materials, like on the cresting, like you said, that shiny, shitty stuff. You know, lack of quality control, upside down name bars, wrong numbers, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, just generally like lower quality, or like failing to heat press everything on like properly and thoroughly, so like it peels off, or just even just like a lower quality glue because it happens to be $5 less per gallon of it, or whatever, or even less. So that's their job right now. Whereas if they own the manufacturing rights to all of the NHL jerseys, they don't have to cut those corners necessarily, because they're not like necessarily competing with that mid tier of Adidas jersey, because they are that mid tier of Adidas jersey. So I think in that way, they'll, unless they're like super cheap bastards essentially, and say, no, we're just going to take what we currently make, which is hot garbage, and just increase the price to the level of what the mid-tier Adidas jerseys are, which no one's going to buy them. So that's an awful business decision. Like, that's just not what they're going to do. They'll just increase their quality to kind of match the, as you called it, the Indo jerseys, the Adidas mid-tier ones. And ideally probably charge the same price. So the quality will improve, the materials will improve, ideally. And so that's it. I think a lot of their quality control issues are coming from just where they are in the marketplace and what their role is and who they're trying to be. But I think that should change. If I was running the company, I would make sure that changed, and I would hope that somebody else would, have the same sort of drive, I guess.
Yeah. The only kind of rebuttal I guess I would have to that is let's take a look at like the EA games for a second, like the sports games, right?
Yeah.
You got the Madden franchise, you got the NFL or the NHL franchise, right?
Yeah.
Which one sells more?
Madden, 100%. Yeah.
Which sport is overall just more popular?
Oh, football, 100%.
So you're going to put more money into football, right? And you're going to
exactly.
cut those corners with hockey. Even if you're the official supplier of everything, what's going to sell you more?
No, yeah, it is going to be the NFL. I'm not saying that they're going to, because you said like they obviously mark up the NFL jerseys quite highly, but they also probably put a lot of effort into them. Whereas when it comes to the NHL ones, they're going to be, I'm just going to say they're going to be better than what Fanatics is doing right now for the NHL. They're not necessarily going to be like, oh man, look at how great this jersey is. It's the exact same quality, if not better than what we've given the NFL. Like, no, that's not going to happen at all. But because Fanatics has kind of the exclusive rights with the NFL and the MLB, and their retail fan stuff is good, then there's no reason why they wouldn't make it good for the NHL as well.
I'm hoping that's the case, but just the idea that hockey isn't the popular thing out of what Fanatics really retails to specifically. That's just where I have my hesitancy on that aspect of it. So, like I said, I'm hoping that those Fanatics jerseys get a hell of a lot better, right? And are on par with the NFL and the MLB ones, like for the just like the retail breakaway style, right?
Yeah. And with Adidas no longer making that mid-tier jersey, they're gonna have to fill that hole in the market. So yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Again, we've got a couple of years wait to see, but that's what makes business sense to me.
Until I have one in my hands and I can definitively tell you, at least my opinion, that it's better than what
or at least on par. Better than Fanatics.
Then better than what Fanatics has put out for the last few years. Until I have that in my hands and I can tell you that, I'm gonna be hesitant about it on the retail side. Like I said, on ice, with what we know about it, I'm not as worried as I was for a split second there. The retail side though is still what really concerns me.
Yeah.
So
no, that's fair. Still not a Fanatics. So it's I get it. I get it.
I own one Fanatics jersey, and it is the first reverse retro for the Ducks, and it's only because Wild Wing jumping out of the ice on it was going to be sublimated on the Adidas jersey anyway. That's the only reason.
And the authentic, or the not authentic, but the Adidas version was way out of the price range.
I was just gonna say it was sold out actually at that point.
Well, yeah, sold out.
I didn't get my hands on it.
And then way out of the price range. Yeah, it was sold out because you didn't buy it within the first hour of it being live, and then after that, it was like $600. So for a blank. So
yeah.
Okay, we've got a couple things to finish up here with the episode very quickly. Just upcoming games, Gulls update, and a short what's quacking if it's what I think it is. So let's talk.
Actually, maybe just for the sake of time, we can leave what's quacking this week. So we did a lot of jersey talk. So I kind of shared my piece, I guess, that way. Really quickly though, as well. Maybe I'm jumping the gun on like the very end of the episode. If you have any other questions or you just want to talk about like the Fanatic stuff, the jersey stuff overall, feel free to shoot me a message on Twitter at Taintnomus. That is my thing. If you've been on this show, I've been listening to this for a while, you know that I have contributed to, like aesthetics and that kind of thing. And you've seen parts of the collection, at least on this. It'd be fun to do like a full breakdown of all the jerseys in my collection, but at the same time, I'm only 8 teams away from the 32. So like I kind of want to wait until then.
Yeah, but which is fair. Yeah.
If there's enough people kind of curious, then we'll go for it. So but feel free to shoot me a message if you have any other questions or just want to talk about it.
One thing I'll caution people about though is don't give him your phone number or he won't leave you alone. He'll be FaceTiming you, look at this jersey, sending you pictures, look at this, like be nonstop. Yeah, you'll rack up your phone bill.
No, I won't do that.
That's what he's got me for. Which you haven't done, but
my good friends though know that I unintentionally I unintentionally live vicariously through them getting jerseys when I'm not able to right that second.
yeah, exactly. So the upcoming game, or first upcoming game, I guess, that we have is against the Winnipeg Jets, 7 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday. It'll be another home game for the Ducks. Game, I lost count of game 6 of this 8-game homestand. We have played Winnipeg twice this season, and I forget how those games went, but 3-2 Winnipeg and 5-2 Winnipeg. Oh,
there you
go. So yeah, I mean, given the trend, I'm just gonna go right ahead and say, I'm not even sharing, but 3 goals against, then 5 goals against. I think now we see 7 goals against. So I'm just going to steal the 7-2 Winnipeg win. That's my guess.
I'm going to agree with the 2 goals for Anaheim, but I'm going to go 4 for Winnipeg.
Okay.
Which, by the way, the Winnipeg Jets 5-4-1 in their last 10 games. And on the road, they're 18-17-1, currently holding on to the second wild card spot right now with 83 points in 72 games.
And Nashville is where behind them?
69 games played. Nice. So 3 games in hand at 78 points. So 5 points back, 3 games in hand.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
that
so
can-
potential
that can
6
be
points
made up.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
to make up. Yeah, so
So
yeah, so I followed the trend and went 3-5-7, and you split the difference and went 3-5 and right in the middle 4. Makes sense. One of us will get it then. I have faith that one of us will get it because math.
watch Anaheim win it.
Yeah, Anaheim wins it like 5-0 or something stupid like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and St. Louis is the
Kyle
game
Connor has
after that.
73 points.
Yeah, dude, he's been nuts this year.
I
man.
knew he was going good, but holy shit.
Is he at 40 goals yet?
He's got to be close. Why won't you let me tap Kyle Connor's name? Let me tap his name.
Tap that Kyle Connor.
Why won't you let me?
I'm assuming
Okay,
he's
here we-
leading the team with that.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, he's only at 27 goals.
Oh, really? Man, he's
Yeah.
definitely way more of a goal scorer. Jeez.
46 assists on the season.
Oh, wow. Huh.
73 points in 72 games. Damn.
Wow. Yeah.
Nice.
They're definitely pass first this season, I guess, for Kyle Connor. But
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then the next upcoming game after
Mark
that
Scheifele's
is,
at 38 goals.
Gotcha. He's the goal scorer there. Saturday, the St. Louis Blues will be visiting for the 7th game of the 8-game homestand. 7:30 Pacific time is the puck drop for that. St. Louis selling off at the deadline. They are not making the playoffs this year as well, but also not going to be in the Bedard sweepstakes necessarily. Not the highest results anyways.
Yeah, 68 points in 70 games. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10, but on the road, 16, 17, and 1. Actually, at home, they have a losing record as well, 15, 16, and 5.
Okay. Yeah, the Blues, we've played twice this season on back-to-back nights early on in the season. I believe that was in November sometime. Maybe late October.
Confirm that. Yeah, November.
November? Yeah. First one was a 6-2 loss, followed by a 3-1 loss for the Ducks. So, again, not looking good there. But, yeah, do you have a prediction for this one?
I predict that John Gibson and Lucas Dostal are going to unfortunately sustain just minor injuries, but it's going to be enough to keep them out of this game in particular. And emergency call up or emergency backup, Nate Thomas is going to be on the ice. Jordan Bennington at the other end. I'm going to go for a Tilly. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, where are you going with this? What? Injuries? What are you talking about?
No, Bennington will be back at that point for sure from his 2-game suspension. So,
Oh, right. I forgot he had that. Yeah.
oh, but no, I'm what are they in their last 10 again? What did I say?
I don't remember. Like
5,
4
4,
and
and
6 or
1.
something. 5-4-1.
5-4-1. Yeah. This St. Louis team is still a good team. Should theoretically beat the Ducks, but I'm gonna go. I don't know. I just got a feeling on this one. I'm gonna go Ducks. I'm gonna go 3-2 Ducks on this one.
3-2 Ducks. I like it. I like it.
Actually, sorry, no, I'm gonna change that.
Okay.
I feel like Bennington's gonna be a net. I'm gonna go 5-2.
Nice. Love it.
And that's where we're gonna see. That's where we're gonna see Bennington go off because it seems like 4 or 5 is when he needs to do it for himself. You know, just to get into that spot is apparently why he pulls the shit that he does.
Yeah.
It gets you to that spot and gets you off the ice.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do much for you at that point, does it, Jordan?
I'm going to say 3-1 for this one. I think it's a pretty slow, quiet game. Like decent enough defensively for the Ducks. And because a fight is what we want to see, I just know we're going to be let down. So there's not going to be enough for Bennington to get all pissy. So yeah, I'm going to say 3-1 Anaheim in this one.
There you go. We got,
So we got Wade jumping in.
Yeah, nice. We got Wade in the chat there. And this is a little while ago. I apologize for this, but we also had Lucas join the chat, though.
I did pull it up, but I didn't want to interrupt you because I could tell you were enjoying yourself. So
it's going. So
yeah.
But yeah, good to see everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Okay. Last thing we've got here, if we're going to skip what's quacking, is San Diego Gulls update.
I thought you like pressed it again. That does go for a while.
It's absurdly long, and I love it. It's great.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it, actually.
Yeah.
So the last time we checked in with the San Diego Gulls, they were on a 4-game win streak, and it's not happening anymore. We're on a 3-game losing streak now.
Yeah.
What else is new? First game against the Iowa Wild there. It was a 6-2 loss. The next day, the Gulls were in Coachella Valley to face off against the Firebirds, where they lost 8-4. Turned back around to go back to San Diego to play Iowa again, who was just waiting around for them, to lose 3-4 in a shootout. The first time that the San Diego Gulls have lost in a shootout this year as well. So we get an extra number to add to the record, which is now 1941, 1-1.
Beautiful. It's kind of impressive that they've went this long, actually. Without a shootout loss. Because they've played in the shootout. They just haven't lost. Like, it hasn't been a lot, because usually they don't get there, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Not too often. Not too often. But, so coming up this week, they got back-to-back games with a day in between. But, 2 games against the Calgary Wranglers up here in Alberta. And then a game next Wednesday. They'll be back in San Diego to face off against the Tucson Roadrunners.
Nice.
So, your top 5 players coming out of this week. In 5th spot, you got Braden Tracy with 27 points in 57 games. In 4th, you got Bo Grew with 31 points. 4th spot, you got Michael Delzato at 35 points. Number 3, Dylan Sakura with 37. And first spot there, Nicholas Brouillard at 38 points in 62 games for the Gulls this season. Your goaltending numbers, you got Olli Eriksson Ek, who has appeared in 19 games now, 492 goals against average and an 847 save percentage there. And then you got Gage Alexander, the young guy there, with 11 games under his belt now. So it looks like Eriksson Ek has kind of been the backup, no matter who's in San Diego with him.
Yeah, which I mean, why not play the young guy and see what he can do at the AHL level? So,
but Alexander now 11 games under his belt, a 267 goals against average, and a 908 save percentage with a shutout in his back pocket there. So
nice.
Yeah, that's what we got. That's what's going right now. So,
and I guess that's the episode as well. So
yeah,
that's all. Yeah. I guess, once again, if people want to talk more jerseys, or if you have any questions, something wasn't quite clear, then at Tatenomas, TATENHOMAS is that guy over there, his handle. Yeah. Always happy to talk jerseys. If you don't feel like giving him a follow because there's just way too much Flames content and you're still bitter about that loss, and the last 6 that have happened at Honda Center since that.
Honestly, the Flames content is even loosened up.
That's just true, yeah.
With how their season's going, even, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just vibing. If they win, sweet. If they lose, fucking Daryl Sutter.
yeah, exactly. So, can commiserate on shitty coaches. That's the one thing that we have in common, Ducks and Flames fans. So, but he's also the man behind the Quack Report Twitter account at Quack Report Pod, is where you can follow the show if you're not already. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, same handle. We're on all of those platforms there. And I'm on Twitter at Carter_Potts, POTTS_97. Did I miss anything?
I know you said Facebook, but just in case, Facebook is a new thing for us. So if you're not following us there, be sure to go give it a follow at Quack Report Pod.
Yeah. And at HockeyPodNet is the network. One more time, the DraftKings code is THPN at signup. And thank you guys very much for tuning in to another episode. We will be back on Monday, and go Ducks go.